What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action. We've got a salty run back for you, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Ra for Kimo in the blue color, and in the red color, playing as Loki, we have Matreiuss. A very exciting time to be alive here is watching Matreiuss as Loki. He is changing the landscape of which Loki is played on. But it's a salty run back. So Kimo has tried his 2-town center on Marsh, not had any success with it. He's going to be playing Frozen Wastes and realizing this is a completely different map, requiring a completely different strategy. One of the big things that makes Frozen Wastes an interesting map to play on is that the gold mines are very, very easily starved. You're very easily gold starved on this map. So if you can have yourself somewhat of a mobile force, you can push off multiple different gold mines at once and find yourself a really, really nice game here, as we do see. I love this here from Matreiuss. This is something that is incredibly important. He's going to do it. He's not doing it yet, but he can chop this wood line down without having to build an extra ox cart. So he saves himself roughly 3 wood a trip going back and forth from this tree to the town center, which ends up being a good amount of resources saved. Also, not having to build the ox cart is a big deal as well, as he gets himself out his dwarf, and he's going to be having a fun time here. Now, let's talk about strategy here. So Matreiuss, Loki against Ra, you have to basically be playing around an early game classical fight no matter what. So you can't really go for a greedy town center unless you guarantee know what your opponent is going for. If you know your opponent's always going for a second town center, you can kind of metagame that a little bit. But if they have the classical fight, early classical fight in their bag, you're gonna have to kind of play around that a little bit. So that basically just means you have to open temple bags every single game against Ra, kind of no matter what. So we'll see that going forward. But what happens if classical fight comes? What happens if Tech and Town Center comes? That's where things start getting interesting. So we'll see what Matreiuss is going to go for there. And we'll see what Kimo is going to go for as well. He's got plenty of food in his main base to be getting himself a very, very clean advance time here. He's getting himself the gold to advance. So to me, it seems like it's just that little bit late going up if he wants to go for a 4-minute advance time, which I think is a decent advance time for Egyptian in this matchup. Is a 4-minute advance time. You throw your monument up while you're advancing to the classical fight. You throw your barracks down, or you go for your town center. It's really, really good. But instead, we see Kimo doing the kind of. I shouldn't complain too much about this because I know that it's going to happen, but you just lose out on so many resources by doing this that certain timings and certain strategies just don't work as well. But we are going to be seeing this lumber camp here is a... No, it's not. But it kind of is. It kind of signifies if you're going for a 4-minute advance time. Actually, Kimo went for a ridiculously fast advance time. They're going for what seemed to be a 3:48 advance time. But this lumber camp signifies classical fight. This lumber camp signifies a classical fight. So we'll see what Kimo is going to be able to make happen here. One of the big things that's important with the classical fight, with advancing fast, is getting damage done super early. And one of the big weaknesses of Ra, as opposed to say Set, is that you don't know where to go to attack your opponent. So he's going to be basically, his early game here is going to be very, very percentage based. He might not find where his opponent is. So you know from the actual map that the food has to be like this, kind of like this. If we go off and we can see, yes, he's here, or he could have been here. So Kimo is going to be searching for that. He'll see the elk and he'll start potentially looking elsewhere. But it's a percentage chance. He doesn't know exactly where to go, and he's going to be trying to find something here. One of the big plays you can do here in the early game is also to just snipe some Hersa building buildings. We can see that Matreiuss is just pulling back into his base, trying to be very, very defensive here. As he does find these villagers, the hearse are coming through. The villagers are just going to pull off here. And I imagine Kimo at this point is happily saying, all right, we get a little bit of damage done here with this villager coming through. We've got the Wadget coming in. We will be seeing the units turning around here. Going to be going straight after that Gatherer. We'll be able to snipe the Gatherer there. Nice play going after the Hearser onto this position as well. It's probably time to Shifting Sands back home at this point if you are Kimo to try and get a little bit more damage done and not lose all of your units. As we do see the Shifting Sands there comes in onto the Hearser. We see the barracks coming through. The Hearser getting targeted down onto this position. We will be seeing the majority of those getting picked off. Probably this one goes down as well, as the Pharaoh is still putting pressure on. Now he needs to retreat. It's a little bit overzealous there, as his Axemen haven't quite made it into this fight just yet. We are going to be seeing the Scraling trying to get into the front of this one, trying to get a little bit of damage done here as the Axeman comes through. Will he be able to start taking this fight? Yes, he will. He'll be able to pick off one of those Ulfsarks there, potentially another one, training a priest for an Ulfsark in effect here, as Matreiuss has to pull back. And I'm loving this early game here from Kimo. He's not building units anymore, though. I think he should continue to be putting pressure on, maybe get some spearmen out as well at this point right now, because Matreiuss has to start going in with raiding cavalry once he sees the Axemen here. But just the one barracks up, and after that, that's kind of it from Kimo. He might be thinking about grabbing a second town center. Has he scouted this? He hasn't scouted this, so he doesn't know that there's a town center here. He could make a guess that there is, seeing there's an elk here, realizing a town center on this position to get himself all of these walrus and everything else could be a really, really good play. We see Kimo now going for Shadoof, going to be looking to get himself some farms coming down, get himself the rain coming out, and looking to go to the next age as he's getting himself husbandry as well, and everyone just comes back home. I mean, I'm not sure that this strategy is congruent. Trying to figure out exactly if everything there was worth it or not. And when you think about it, yes, you picked off 2 Hearser, maybe 3 Hearser, and a Ulfsark, but he traded a priest, so you have to take out 100 gold from it all. If you do the quick math on it, it probably would have been better off for Kimo to just do the farm straight away instead of putting the pressure on, because he would have had the Pharaoh empowering, getting him all of those resources back, or something like that. I mean, alternatively, we do see a really, really nice, a really big idea there from Manu Tunaks in the chat. He could have Shifting Sands the goat as well, which would have allowed him to delay these farms a little bit longer as well. But Kimo here casts his rain, got his villagers on the gold mine. He's going to be going to the next age relatively soon here. Whereas Matreiuss here, I think Matreiuss has to realize that he's got a shot at a gold star. He's got his troll over on this gold mine here. There is a gold mine on this position as well, but he can go one town center here. Bragi kind of all in onto the second gold mine, because this gold mine over here, he sees it. He sees 1,600 gold there. He sees the farms. He sees the little army in the main base. There's so much information that this spied Pharaoh is giving to Matreiuss here to make a decision in this game. So we'll see exactly what he's going to be doing with all of that information. But he's finished up on those walrus in the middle of the map. He can actually move forward and eat his opponent's walrus here as well. We'll see if that's what he's going to do, or if he's just going to move over and eat the elk, as the army's sitting over onto this position, as well as Matreiuss does pull the troll back, which is a smart move. you want to be using your troll to pick off the rock. I think it's a really, really smart idea that Matreiuss is going for. This is something that a lot of Norse players complain about. It's like, we can't kill the rock. You have trolls. So yes, if you go for Freya, you can't kill the rock. But if you go, or Heimdall, but if you go for Forseti, you can kill the rock. And I think the Matreiuss is being really smart with this, and I think you'll probably build that second troll yet again when he sees Hathor come through to deal with that rock in a good way. As the Longhouse comes down over here, and Kimo here is up through Hathor. He's got his gold mine over here. He knows there's a gold mine here, but this is the only gold mine he knows about because he hasn't scouted the map. I think it would have been worthwhile to just send the Axemen just around the back here to try and find some goats as well. But it looks like Matreiuss has basically cleaned up the majority of those here as this villager gets a little bit caught out in this position here. I think you can escape here by Garrison Magic, but we'll see how it's all going to go as the armory is up, villagers pumping out here. I like this kind of thing that Matreiuss is doing. Goes for a villager and a dwarf on auto queue, and you can take the villagers off of gold and chuck them over onto food as well if you so choose. But it looks like he's moving over onto this gold mine nice and early anyways to split up and deal with any sort of rock shenanigans here as the army going to be pushing through here, tries to take out these units. We see the rock does pick up those that Patsukos here. This might be a little bit too aggressive here for Matreiuss as he will be pulling away here as the Migdol does come up. The army going to have to pull out of there. I think for the 3 months there, Wolf Collar, the best collar. Coca-Cola? Cola. Wolf Cola, the best cola. That has to be how you pronounce that. Anyways, we see the rock coming through here for Kimo, but the Matreiuss troll is already in and he's going to get so much damage done onto that rock there as the Herso chasing this one away. Look at the damage, and a second troll coming through here as well. This is almost role-playing as if it's Greek here, and the rock just gets no value as the troll comes in. Going to be able to snipe that one down as the... he missed a rock throw there as the troll... Oh, the troll snipes it as the axemen are also going to be falling to the troll as well, as Matreiuss has figured out how to deal with the rock here as Norse. 0 damage from... How often can you say 0 damage there from a raw rock against Norse? How often? And that is exactly what happened there. Beautiful play by Matreiuss, and really showing the way there. A very, very nice strategic change here from Matreiuss's perspective in this matchup. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. As Kimo now moving across the map here, going to be looking to grab this gold mine. If Matreiuss was paying attention, he would have seen that was what was going on. As we do see the units pulling out here, and this could be absolutely devastating here if Kimo spots this. But it looks like Kimo does miss that one there. He's moving into the main base. We see the villagers pulling off of this wood line over here, searching around. The raiding cavalry coming over here will be spotting these villagers here. As we see a town center getting thrown up, the villagers coming onto this gold mine over here as well. One lone troll here will actually deal with that cavalry pretty easily though, as the villagers getting pushed off, going to be retreating away, trying to give himself as much time in this game to find himself in a good position, as the dwarves over here might get spotted there as Bragi does come through from Matreiuss. Decent timing there, 11 minutes into the game. He's going to be able to push out here as this town center just about to pop for Kimo. I'm really not sure if this town center here is enough of a help on this gold mine to help defend it. Do we have shaft mine in? Yes, we do. So Kimo here just basically needs to get himself a Migdol up on this gold mine as soon as possible as the town center comes through. Do we have a market here? We do have a market, so we can sell food and get that Migdol up if he so chooses. As these units here for Kimo coming through onto this position, trying to snipe some Herso, but not going to quite be able to do so. As the Herso stays alive, going to be immediately tasked onto that healing spring there to deal with that, to get that back up to full HP. As we do see the army now coming over onto this position, do spot a villager on this position here. We do have Skin of the Rhino already in for Kimo, so his villagers are quite strong. As the raiding cavalry coming over here, raiding cavalry of Matreiuss, but the chariot archer cavalry do spot that gold mine on that position. Should alert Kimo to the fact that the gold villagers are elsewhere on the map. As the army going to be retreating away from here. This town center not just about to come, it's halfway completed here, as all the units here will be able to chase down the cavalry and everything else and be in a fantastic position to boot here, as the chariot archer does get taken out. The raiding cavalry going to be retreating back here, as Matreiuss wants to kind of consolidate his position a little bit and send everything in to get a really, really good flaming weapons. Alternatively, holding on to flaming weapons for when the Son of Osiris is out and gets out of position might be the right play. as the cavalry do get taken out over on that position. More villagers coming through for Kimo. It seems to me like Kimo's in a half-decent position over here, but we'll have to wait and see how it's all going to go, because I imagine Heavy Raiders has come through, and we do see the flaming weapons getting dropped onto separate positions over here. We'll see if the Herser on this position will get himself any myth unit spawns, which would be absolutely huge over here, but the villagers getting pushed off of this location. The battle ball going straight after the town center here as the Pharaoh pops out. Going to start getting a little bit of damage done over onto those battle ball, but it is a slow grind to make that work, as we do see the Valkyrie pushing these units back with those Herser here. Is the army going to come back in here, going to try and hold on to this one, as we see one Herser getting onto Ptolemy over here, as the garrison micro coming through here for Kimo as best as it possibly can, but looks like the Pharaoh might be falling here when all is said and done. Is the battle ball going to be able to stay alive? Villagers coming through here to try to shank down as best as they possibly can, as Matreiuss is moving in onto this position brutally here. He's also got himself the Pierce armor to deal with those chariot archers as well, as the battle ball one does fall down. We've got another battle ball in onto this position as more units pushing through. Kimo just simply cannot hold on this position, loses so many villagers here, and decides to tap out when all is said and done here. Kimo just not able to survive this flaming weapons of Matreiuss. The timing absolutely brutal here from Matreiuss. He plays it nigh perfectly after all is said and done. You got to think about this from the perspective of what could Kimo have done differently here in this strategy, because I did like the idea. I think that a 348 advance time from Ra is a really, really good idea against Loki, because Loki is going to be advancing at about 420 or something. So you need to be getting your barracks up and starting to pump axemen out as fast as possible. So if you go up at 348 and you say you move out onto your forward hunt or something like this, out onto this forward hunt here, and you drop your barracks here with a Pharaoh, it's going to be up by about 4 minutes, and you're going to be able to have axemen out and your priest and Pharaoh to attack your opponent on their hunt by the time your opponent is hitting the second age. So you're going to be able to push them off hunt immediately, which has got to be the way to play against Loki as Egyptian on this sort of a map here. But Kimo doesn't go for it. He goes for something a little bit odd, gets a little bit of damage done, retreats back, but he gets damage done to himself by doing that. So whether or not it was worth it or not does remain to be seen. I'm not sure if that was where he was falling behind here in this game or not, but beautifully well played by Matreiuss. Loved the troll innovation here. Extra troll, keeping a troll alive, dealing with that rock is going to become 100% become meta. If it's not already meta now, it will be after these games have been played. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this one, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.